Things that need to be said. You don't have to like it. It's simply the truth.
Hi there. Are you a large person, pleasantly plump, a little on the hefty side perhaps? Well, let's face it. Are you fat? When you go jogging, do you leave potholes? When you make love, do you have to give directions? At the zoo, do elephants throw you peanuts? Do you look at a menu and say, okay?
Hey everybody, your resident man in black is back again for a new edition of the best kept secret in the conservative movement right here on MRC-TV. I'm Nick Kangadis. Really quick, head on over to Rumble, subscribe to our channel, and hit that like button. And no matter where you watch our videos, please share, like, and don't be afraid to leave a comment. I actually read what you guys have to say, and I occasionally respond, so don't be shy. Now, on with the show. Last week I showed you how impressively dumb former Speaker Nancy Pelosi is. This week, I'll show you not only a little insight into the insular bubble that Pelosi lives in, but just how enormous her ego is, particularly in the face of someone who flies directly in the opposite direction of her and the rest of the establishment's narratives.
It's all bullshit.
As a little refresher, here's what Pelosi was confronted with during her recent visit to the Oxford Union, where she engaged in a debate on populism with former Mumford Sons band member Winston Marshall.
You may be thinking now that Trump is a populist. You are right. He didn't accept the 2020 elections, and he should have. So should Hillary in 2016, so should Brussels, and so should Westminster in 2016, and so too should Congresswoman Pelosi, instead of saying the 2016 election was, quote, hijacked. Quote, hijacked. Thank you.
In the aftermath of the coverage of Pelosi's defeat at the hands of the awake, not woke banjo player, Marshall joined Piers Morgan to talk about the debate. Marshall brought up the difference in the establishment's narratives, what Pelosi believes, and what actually constitutes an insurrection, like certain events that occurred during the summer of Floyd.
In my debate with her, I bring up the insurrection that lasted in Portland, Oregon. Now, what I didn't actually mention is that and you can look this up, she ordered, Trump at that time was trying to send in more police and I think the National Guard to deal with the insurrection in Oregon. She ordered against it. So it's one rule when it's radical progressives leading the insurrection, and it's another one when it comes to Jan 6th. Now, she's completely blinded by Jan 6th. I read one of Trump's tweets from Jan 6th when she says, be peaceful, we're not like the other side. Again, that's not an exact quote, but you can look on his Twitter feed what he actually said. When I was doing that, she was looking at me, she was going, why are you doing this? I don't think she's ever heard these arguments.
Marshall then goes on to talk about the sheer hubris of Pelosi, basically looking down her nose at Marshall while she was speaking as if to say, who are you to combat what I said?
Another thing from the speech is throughout, or maybe 2 or 3 times, she looked at me, you can't see this in the camera, she goes, why are you doing this? Sorry, she goes, who are you? Who are you? Now, I'm a nobody, right? So, fair enough.
Well, you're a pop star.
What she's actually saying is, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
And I was like quite astounded by it.
Look, we all know many politicians have an ego that won't fit through the doorway. We know this, it's no secret. But Nancy Pelosi has a history of being in the let them eat cake category.
They're beneath me.
If you remember, here's just one example from when the Dems were trying and were eventually successful at implementing socialized healthcare, their version of Romney care, if you will.
It's going to be very, very exciting. But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it away from the fog of the controversy.
I don't know when it was that these people forgot that they work for us. It was probably shortly after George Washington left office, you know, the only president in our history that didn't want the job. We give them a good portion of our money over and over and over again, whether it's income tax, Medicare tax, Social Security tax, property tax, gas tax, sales tax, state taxes, and those are just a few. Oh, and then when you die, which you have no control over, there's the death tax too. And don't forget the taxes you're forced to check in with the IRS every April 15th. They always want to dip their dirty little fingers into every aspect of your life, and with every aspect of your life, they want a piece of it for themselves. They're criminals. Did you consent to any of these things? Did anyone ask you before they took and continue to take your money?
Hell no.
And what does it go for? It goes to make people like Nancy Pelosi's cushy life possible. It makes it possible for people like her to mandate that you stay in your home while they go out to fancy dinners and get their hair done, wearing the pointless paraphernalia they claim will save our lives. And what do? They laugh at you while not adhering to their own guidance. Don't think we forgot about that either, Nancy. These people are not your friends. They no longer work for you. They work for themselves to enrich their families with our money. They send our money to far-off lands to protect borders that we live nowhere near while ignoring the border that we do. They allow their criminal friends to terrorize our once great cities while giving the people that carry out those crimes credit cards filled with money that we, our children, and their children will be paying off. It's a rat race. And don't ask me how, because I don't have all the answers. But it's time we take away the rat's cheese. Take that how you will, and you don't have to like it. It's simply the truth. So, when will I be audited? Will I get a visit from our bloated government, or were these just things that needed to be said? Let me know in the comments, where I do read most and reply to some. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel on Rumble and hit that like button. If you like this video, don't forget to share, comment, and give it a thumbs up. Those are the best ways to help these videos reach more people, and it's the best way to let us know you want us to keep these videos coming. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that YouTube might actually let you know when MRCTV comes out with a new video, if they haven't censored it or taken it down yet. Like us on Facebook, check out more of our work at MRCTV.org, and if you want to support our content and the conservative movement, head on over to MRC.org/donate to help us out, since we're a nonprofit and couldn't do what we do without all of you. For MRCTV, I'm Nick Kangadis.